All right, so this will be an informal video because LOL, I still haven't learned how to clip and video edit. But this will be just a update or more so a tutorial, I guess, on how I do my small groups because I still struggle with it. And I know some people do as well. So just some background. You're gonna hear my son in the background playing, so I apologize. But actually, I don't apologize. The joy of motherhood. However, prior to COVID, that was actually one of the things I was working on with my school. And then I had gotten a system, and then we shut down. So I've never perfected it from my second year. Last year, when we did it at my old job, it was more so done online, so it was virtual. And we did it in the middle of the year. So there really wasn't no, students weren't rotating around the classroom. So I actually haven't had students rotate in the classroom since COVID. So I am doing it now because my current school does it, and we have math rotations and we have ELA rotations. So in the beginning of the school year, I started working with ELA rotations. And so trying to implement the same idea when it comes to my math rotations. However, math is slightly different. So today I'm only going to show you math. And I'll see if I can briefly make like a video or so when it comes to ELA. So let us get started. Oh, okay. So, some things that happened. So my math coach came in my classroom, and I told her that, hey, I've never done math stations before. I was really excited to do it, but I haven't done it before. And I also haven't done stations, like I told you, since pre-COVID. So I don't remember what I'm doing. I just know that I have kids moving right now. And some things that were said to me after my observation. The students were in groups, that was a good thing, and that I used my timer to guide my small groups. Now, some areas for grow were that the students didn't seem to know the expectation, procedures were not in place, and that I should have manipulatives. Okay, so then she gave me some next steps, and I'm saying this to you to be transparent so that it could help you as well, so that you know nothing starts perfect. Even though, especially those whose classrooms look like, oh my gosh, our classroom looks awesome. Just because their classroom looks awesome doesn't necessarily mean that what's happening inside is awesome as well. So time to set some expectations. So some of my next steps include ensuring that I have manipulatives at the stations, that I have a procedure in place so that students aren't coming up to me while I'm working with other students at my teacher table, to work on consistent small groups so that it's not changing every day, but it have the same group. And then explaining my small group activities on Monday and have the same activity be used every day throughout the week. So it's less planning, less preparation, I guess you could say. And the kids are really owning that skill that they're working on. And then I also have to practice station rotation with the kids. So some things that I did in my classroom in regards to math, I changed some things around. So I have it so the students can go directly in a circle without coming to me. I remove myself from the station because what I want to do instead is have everyone engage in the station, and then I will pull students out. And when I pull students out, then those are the kids that I work with during that time, and then they go back to their station. That way, everyone is working on something that is building some sort of skill. So I'm going to show you what's going to go up on my slideshow. Tomorrow, when I go in, I already have my station set up. I have my fluency already checked. I just have to pull something for my review and spiral, which I think I have in the back of my mind. And then I need to get something for task. I have something tomorrow for task, but because we have a unit test, I'll keep the same activity for task for this week. Yep. So that being said, I will also teach expectations again for them. Tomorrow will just be us practice rotating, and then I'll practice pulling some groups so that I can do some small group lessons with them because I have things that I have to do at my teacher table. So we will see how that goes tomorrow. And then what I will do is, I won't post this yet, obviously, but I will then share some successes and things that I should fix after putting out this plan. And so this video may be a hefty one because I'll wait for the end of the week to finish recording so that I can add more information about, what went well, what didn't, and things like that. Okay, hoping that this helps you. So this is the final view of it. So what I'll do is I will put it in my slideshow, and I'll show you that as well. And then tomorrow, I get started. So I'll let you know again what were the things that I'm going to do for tomorrow. That I have 4 groups because I have a total of 18 kids. So within my group, hoping that I don't get more. Not like that, but you know what I mean. When you have something going and then you end up getting more kids, so it kind of throws everything off, but it happens. So within my 4 groups, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 groups of 5, 2 groups of 4. Prior to this, I did 4 groups and myself was a station, but it wasn't realistic because I never got to see everyone, and I feel like it also took away from a skill that they needed, which is why I decided to take, it was suggested to take myself out of the stations so that I could pull who I needed to and work with them during that time period. Yep. All right, so the specifics of this. So how this worked was she had me label out the week, the days of the week. And then because I'm only going to clip out the day that I need to put in the slide, because I realized that if I put so much, it's overwhelming for them, which is fine. So what we're going to do is that's why I have a black. I will only clip out this part and put it on the slide. However, we just did one station at a time. So station 1 on Monday, I put group 1, group 2, group 3, and then kept going group 4. And then went back to the top and kept going this way. Then station 2. Now, we start, instead of at group 1, it will be group 2. So it's going in sequential order within down the station as well as this way. Wow, this is sad. Horizontal? No. Vertical. Wow, this is really bad. Horizontally. So it'll continue to go that way. So I will give you a video when I am finished. Working on this right now. And so my shout outs to my math coach. She's the one who set this up for me. It's basically what we had in our math slide. However, I asked for it to be color coordinated for those kids who struggle when it comes to just reading. Following directions. I think things with color is helpful with kids. So this is what we did. We have a station 1, which is a task station. This will be the station where students have manipulatives and they're working on something with either manipulative or like a dry erase board or something hands-on. Station 2 is iReady. If you don't have iReady, then you can do some sort of math website, like 99 Math is a really good one that I used. Station 3 is math fluency. This station right here, you can literally put the same thing and have them working every day, because at the end of the day, you want to build fluency. I noticed that my students struggle when it comes to counting to 10. I'm like, so 7 plus 3, and I have students using their hands to count up, or 6 plus 4, 8 plus 2. So this week I have some drills when it comes to that, as well as some subtraction. And as we get into multiplication division, I will change this out. This is a reviewer spiral, so this is working on some skill that we've already covered, or what we are currently learning. So that's what this station is here for. Okay, and so I've color coordinated them. I'm gonna fill the rest of this out, but I'm gonna finish color coordinating it, and then I have student groups with their names with the color, so that the direction will say, find your group, go to your station, work the entire time. And then I'll put questions, ask 2 students before asking me. So today was day 1. I'm just gonna briefly recap with y'all. So I taught the different stations today. We talked about the different expectations for each station, bars, and then had the kids walk around in a classroom so that they could kind of like see and feel and do all the things in different station. What went well is that the expectations were set. I think because myself and my coach were in at the same time, in a sense where we didn't necessarily talk about, okay, this happened and this happened and this happened. I had an idea already in my head, but she had an idea in her head. So we were doing two things at once, not realizing that some of it coincided with each other. So I guess my advice is just for you, if someone is coming into your classroom to see how you're doing this, make sure you both of you are on the same page and you're clear, like creating a clear set, like outline of what to expect. But what I would suggest based on what happened in my room, I would go over what each station is and like show them what to do in it, set your expectations, have kids model it, and then after you go through all of the stations and the locations, then all right guys, now it's time for us to practice. And then you would put everyone based on their location, put them there, and then I have a 3Q. So I have two chants that I do in the middle of them. But I have like a class, they respond yes, and they're like, okay, I need you to 3, please clean up. And then they clean up, I wait a couple seconds, and then I'm like 2, stand up and line up, and they stand up and line up where they need to go, because that's where that's how they're gonna rotate. And then 1, I play music or I say move, and then they rotate around the classroom in a circle. And so they did that, I did that with them twice. And then the only other thing is, because math is at the end of the day and it's rushed with the exit tickets and dismissal and stuff, I have them start their exit tickets first when they get to their station, unless if they're struggling, and then they do the activity. So that is definitely just some expectations for myself that I set. So think for yourself about what expectations you can set for each station. What does it look like? Where do they find materials? The new major thing is ask 3 before coming to me. And that's especially, and you ask 3 within your group. You shouldn't be asking 3 in different areas or different groups, only those within your group, because the issue is people are asking other people that are not in their group. So that's that. Tomorrow we do have a unit test, so I won't be able to do it tomorrow. However, I will most likely practice the idea of rotating with them. And then Wednesday we'll get back on action. So that was my recap for today. Today was Monday, first day of the week, introduced it. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. There were just some things I'd like to change. I had also some working out stuff with my computer. My slideshow didn't show up. My colors, making sure that the colors that you're putting, they're legible on the screen, because the colors that I selected was too dark. So it didn't show up on the bigger screen. So I had to change around some colors. So like little things like that made a huge difference now. But yeah. Right, so today was officially day 2 of my small groups. It was rough. It was really rough. I will say the kids knew my expectations, so that was a good thing. I was also able to work at the teacher table, which was another good thing. I think the rough part was the talking. Like, it was just really chatty. So I'm trying to figure out what to do in regards to that. However, tomorrow, I think with more practice, it'll get better. And setting the expectations as well. I think I'm gonna start telling them to show me their voice level on their hands first before we start the station. So that way I'm keeping them accountable. And I noticed with like my small group for ELA, what we're gonna start doing is checklists. So I'm thinking maybe I should create some sort of checklist or accountability when it comes to my math group. So stay tuned. We'll see if I can finesse this within this week. Okay, so I officially did my full week of stations for math. I planned out also my stations for next week, and I'll also share that with you all when I sit down for the slideshow. But there are some things that I've learned that I'm going to do. I'm going to put the station names up. I'm going to color code my reading stations and then my color code my math ones. So like all of reading stations will be in red. All of math stations will be in orange, like that. And I'll also have the direction of what to do when they get there. More so not the direction of what to do, but more so how to clean up. So I'll put 3 clean up, 2 line up, stand up, 1 move. I also put what the station should look like when they leave. For instance, technology, when they finish at that station, they need to close it down and go make sure it's always on class link. For task, put all manipulatives away. Like, that's what I mean. I'm considering putting that on it. And I don't think I should because they're in 4th grade, but yeah. Something else. So my kids are able to rotate effectively today. Everyone knew what they were doing. So it's finding stations that they can do for longer throughout the week instead of daily stuff. And it will help because then it's less time pulling materials. Also gives them more time to work on the skill. Also allows them them to have multiple at-bats. Also, it's easier for me. If I pull them out of a station, they know how to get back into it and what to do, versus if I pull them out of a station that's changing every day, they have no idea what they're doing and they're wasting time. So there's that. Aside from that, today the stations went better. I mean, there were less kids in the classroom. I have 18 kids. Today I had 12. But neither there, whatever that phrase is. It's been a week. I also have my data for today's exit ticket was lit. Out of the kids that were there, only 8 did well. 4 of them are who I'm going to work with first in my small group on Monday. So that is helpful, and that made me feel better because yesterday's exit ticket. So yeah, that to say there is more progress and more work that's going to happen within my classroom. And the things that I've shared with you all, my classroom does not look the same. I'm just learning things in general. I guess I might as well just make a what's going on in your room video next. Just so I can have that thought process. And I think that thought process helps other people as well. Because there are things that I wish I had put into consideration with entering 4th grade that I didn't necessarily think about. So yeah, what I will do is I'm going to fix up my slideshow and then share what next week will look like and my next following up steps. And then I'll share that with you all. So when you be watching this, I would have already been starting my week 2 of doing stations. So hopefully it looks a whole lot better. Also, I will have been now thinking of ways to now work on my instruction at my teacher table. That's the next steps for me. But yep, thank you. So this is the last video. I know this is a long clip, but I hope that this is helpful. So what I did, my ELA coach she's awesome. First off, if she ever watches this, she's awesome. But she gave us checklists for stations for ELA. And so I just created checklists for my math stations, as well as little directions I'm gonna put around the classroom. So I'll just show you briefly. So like for my station of fluency, I have what do I need, the things that they need. If they have a question, I put ask 3 in my group before Miss Pierre. And then before I leave, what should it look like? Because I'm getting people leaving with caps lock on markers, not erasing their answers, and it's not away neatly and their stuff still at their desk. I'm at the station. So I have that for math and fluency. For my iReady station, I have this again, what they need. Important thing is to leave their the technology on ClassLink, and then they have an iReady checklist. And so I just finished making my review and spiral, and then my review and spiral sheet, as well as their checklist. And the last one I'm going to do, I believe, is my task. And then once I've done that, then hopefully I will be successful for this week. So I'll probably do a recap maybe in 2 weeks or so, because I told you, as I expressed, my next goal is to work my teacher instruction. But before I do that, I got to make sure everything else, the moving pieces, are in place so that I can really start focusing in on that. So I'm hoping that this long video, I hate long videos, I hate to do this to you, but I know that people needed this because it was expressed to me. So I'm hoping that this video did help you. If you see something that was helpful, can you please comment, or can you please share with someone? If you have any questions, can you also please comment? And then If you also have any suggestions of what I could possibly do to help my kids be successful, by all means, please share it to me. Know that this did take a lot of time. And I'm also in grad school right now, so this is a lot. And I'm also behind. But we're going to make it. And I'm hoping, again, that this could be of use to somebody who is currently going through or trying to figure out what the hell to do in their damn small groups. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, comment, follow, share, all of that good stuff. Bye, y'all.